Welcome back to Ladies Let's Talk Business. I am your host, Lacarrious. Now, I know I have been gone for a minute, but we are back and we have an amazing show for you today. We're talking about the business of body politics, and I'm joined by two amazing women, Miss Karla and Miss Shamica. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
So first, again, thank y'all for joining me today. We're going to get into the conversation, but first, tell the people who you are. Karla, we'll start with you.
I'm Karla Lewis, also known as Coach Karla. I am a licensed therapist here in Memphis, Tennessee, as well as a life coach. And I've been a licensed therapist for 20 plus years.
All right. Miss Shamica.
Okay, I am Shamica Meeks Baxter, and I'm also a life coach. I would like to think of myself as a life enthusiast as well. I've worked with the disadvantaged populations, ranging from uh, children with behavioral issues as well as disabled individuals with getting them to become self-sufficient. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank y'all for being here again. I
Thank
can't
you.
thank y'all enough because this topic is something that's personal to both of you.
Yes.
So today we're talking about the business of body politics, and we're going to explore how women are treated differently based on their body size, and it's in relationships, the workplace, healthcare, media, and everyday life. Okay, so let's get on into this first question. When did you realize that women are treated differently based on their size?
Can I go first?
Go ahead.
I realized it in middle school as well as high school.
Okay.
I realized I was treated differently than girls that were the ideal of what it means to be beautiful as far as body size.
Mm-hmm. So it's like the skinny, thin
The
girl.
thin girls versus the overweight girl, because I was like 200 plus pounds. I started gaining weight in middle school, and I just got bigger in high school. So I realized early on that people didn't have a problem being disrespectful as far as, in Memphis, we have what's called checking.
Yes.
You weren't taken up for as quickly as far as men or boys being mannerable.
Mm-hmm.
They were more mannerable towards someone with a smaller frame versus someone with a larger frame. And if you were able to date a guy, you were deemed lucky.
Ooh.
Because they typically go for that more slim.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we say thick, we exclude the plus size girl.
The truly.
So that came on at a early, like I learned at an early age, from losing and gaining weight, size plays a big role in how people perceive you as well as treat you.
What about you, Karla?
I would say the same, that I saw the difference in high school. And for me, I know I competed in pageants. Now, I was like a size 10. So I think in the Black community, I wouldn't necessarily be considered plus size, but in the white community, I was. And so a lot of times when my peers found out that I was competing in pageants, they would act surprised or shocked or say things like and so we would have conversations about the difference in sizes of African American community versus the white community, because it is a difference. And so, but I didn't meet their standard of beauty. And I mean, that includes, I went to a predominantly white high school.
Okay.
So that also includes the fuller lips, and not just a fuller chest or fuller hips. So I was a curvier girl. And then I would say I became a plus size woman as I aged. Yeah.
Shamica, did you see that across the cultural lines where your size played a difference of how you were treated?
I didn't start being around different cultures, I would say, until adulthood.
Okay.
But in adulthood, I did see, because with the job, like I told you guys, I have 10 plus years working with disadvantaged populations. So part of my job as a director of a company was to partner with different companies. And when I lost weight, I didn't have to announce who I was. My presence was just felt. I could sit down and people would come up to me like, why are you sitting? Like, they would want to engage with me. And being someone that, like I said, my weight has changed. So gaining versus losing weight, I saw how more approachable or approached I was, not because my demeanor changed, not because the type of person that I was changed,
Just 'cause your body
but my
changed.
body changed, and it before I even opened my mouth,
Mm.
people they wanted to get to know me and who I was, so it gave me a competitive advantage, and I know it did, and it was cross-cultural lines, black, white, whatever.
Mhm.
I was Somebody told me in the beginning of my career, I was offered a job making 65K at like 27, 28 to be a manager, and I know that had something to do with my overall look, not just because, "Oh, she's cute,"
Mhm.
but she's thin and she fits the ideal of what it
The
means to
aesthetic
the
will be out
aesthetic.
front.
Mhm.
And so you really led into my next line of questions, and I was gonna ask, have you ever had to alter how you dress, speak, or show up professionally because of your size? And so you kinda touched on that already. If you wanna dive a little bit deeper, or Karla, have you had to alter how you dress, speak,
Yeah,
or show up professionally?
yeah, I did. Well, I've had a couple of experiences, and one, I noticed that I was wearing the same clothing as my peers, but there was a doctor who I was working with, and she kept complaining on what I was wearing. And I was trying to figure out what the difference is, and
Mhm.
then finally I realized, well, it's my size.
What
It's
were the
not
complaints she was saying? Was it, "It's too fitted, it's too short"? Like, what was her issue where it was an issue for you and not them?
I don't know, I was just told to change my
Oh,
dress.
wow.
I wasn't told anything specific, which that kind of gives away
Yeah.
that there was, it's a skirt and a top, it's a blouse. So what's the difference?
Mhm.
I'm curvier, I'm plus size. And I mean, my clothes weren't any different from hers. Yeah. And then we don't have open conversations so that people can learn um what's different about different body types, what's okay. And then also, I tried to wear clothes that were baggier,
Mhm.
but then when you do that, it's not a neat look. It's not as professional looking.
Mm.
So it's a catch-22 for a curvier or a plus size woman.
Okay. Did
Can
you
I
have anything you wanna
Of
add?
course I do.
Go ahead.
Like I told you guys, I've worked with people with mental and physical disabilities for 10 plus years. So I had a client I had gained. I was small. I was really small when I started my job, and people were just extremely kind. I was like, wow, people are so nice.
Mhm.
And I remember this lady saying, they're not just nice to you, you're pretty. And so I was like, that's not true. So I gained about, I would say, 50 plus pounds
Mhm.
over the span of like a year and a half. Clients started treating me some of the clients started treating me
Mhm.
differently. I actually had a client come in, and he was like, "Does Shamica still work here? She used to work here." I was
Oh,
like, "I'm
wow.
Shamica," and he's like, "You been eating good."
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
And I'm like,
But
you
that's how people get so comfortable and think they can just say whatever and don't even think that I'm hurting someone's feeling or
and the care left, so with now that I don't fit your ideal,
Mhm.
you don't care about hurting my feelings. Had another guy, "You look so much better smile, like you've gained,
Mm.
weight." And I didn't know the kindness was conditional
It plays
based
into that pretty privilege that
based
you have.
upon the weight.
Pretty does get you in rooms, it keeps you in rooms, it gets you treated better. People will overlook things that you do that you shouldn't be doing. Pretty privilege is a real thing, and I don't think we admit it. We'll be like, "Oh, she got a big butt, or she this, she that," but if you are pretty and you have a nice body,
It
it
gives you certain which I and the only reason I know a difference is because I've been both. So when you've been both, you can't say, "Well, no."
you can see it
You can
now.
actually see it because you're like, "Wow." I didn't have to open my mouth at first, but I'm still the happy-go-lucky, friendly person who dresses nice. It's just,
Your body changed.
yeah, my
Your
body
body
changed, and
changed.
now the I didn't even, you perceive it as, "Oh, people are kind," but the perceived kindness is now privileged because now I have to work a little bit harder
Mhm.
for people to be kind, to show general you're thinking of somebody's opening the door for you because they're a gentleman.
Mm.
And it's because, oh, she's pretty.
Mhm.
So now I'm more mannerable. So yeah, career-wise, definitely. And it was disheartening as well.
So you
Yeah.
kinda touched on something that's leading to the next. We're gonna
Wow.
talk about dating, marriage, and desire. So do you think women of certain sizes are pursued differently in dating?
Man, your dating life
It's different.
is very different because the way a man, when a man approaches a woman, it's not because, oh, I like her mindset. Generally, it's she's beautiful. I want to know
Attraction.
more.
Mhm.
It's like a pretty box that I want to open and explore. So the treatment is different, even with some women saying, why won't he do this for me? And why won't he? There are certain women that don't have to ask. The guy's already leading with it because they know.
Mhm.
They already know, like they're already capable of doing these things, but they reserve it for certain women based upon a look. So this
Mhm.
may be the dream girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think that curvier women are approached inappropriately a lot more. And I also think that that has a lot to do with our culture being highly sexual,
Mhm.
as well as a lot of the porn that's out there, it features curvier women.
Mhm.
You know, we don't see skinny women in pornographic material. Most of the time, it's going to be a
A curvy
curvier
woman.
or a plus size woman.
Mhm.
So I think that on the flip side, curvier women can be more highly sexualized than other women are.
So do you think goes to my next question. Yeah, we on the road today, honey. Conversation just flowing. So do you think that plus size women are desired more privately but not claimed publicly? Because like you said, we see in porn, it's the curvy bodies, it's the plus size women. But do you think that translates over into when it's dating, where I'll deal with you in the bedroom, but I'm not going to take you out around my family and my friends because you don't fit that box. Like Shamica said, you're not that box that I would normally have.
I think, well, first of all, the statistics say that men actually prefer women size 14 and up. So I do think that a lot of men do appreciate, I'm going to say, a thicker woman.
Hmm.
But now to me, it's more of a part of the European culture that prefers a thinner woman. So that's pretty much my take or opinion about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shamika?
I kind of do feel like, for the most part, they do desire privately versus publicly.
Hmm.
I know someone that prefers plus size women and dates them publicly, but you got to think about how many men don't. So now you're all competing for the same type of man that, desires you publicly, because a lot of guys will make a woman feel like, you should be lucky
Mm.
I want you. You should be lucky. And I've heard a lot of,
Hmm.
women that are plus size say that, like, men approach them on some, you should be lucky I'm choosing. It's happened to me. Like I said, like, I dated someone and I lost weight within that relationship. The treatment was completely different when I
Mm.
lost
Lost
weight.
weight.
Now you want to hold my hand, but I mentally checked out. But now you want to hold my hand. Now you want to go out because now you want to showcase me.
Mm.
Mm. Hmm.
Mm. And I've heard that from quite a few plus size women. That's why I asked that question because it's easy for you to claim you behind doors when it's just me and you. But
Hmm.
when it comes to family, friends, work events, you're not going to take me. All of a sudden, I'm going to take my mom with me or I'm going alone. So I've definitely heard that from many plus size women.
Hmm.
Next question. So we'll talk about money, access, and wealth. Do you think luxury, with all this yoga and hot Pilates and stuff, everybody's trying to live the soft life. Black women living the soft life now. But do you think that luxury and wellness and lifestyle spaces are inclusive of women of all sizes?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I
And
would agree.
and
I definitely agree.
when you look online and you see the people marketing luxury, you don't really see
A plus
it
size
it
woman.
aligned with being plus. Like, typically, when people are looking at the standard
Hmm.
of beauty, you don't see an inclusion of plus size women. We preach that there's inclusion. We preach body
Hmm.
positivity, but when you go back out into the world, they don't take up those luxury spaces. It's almost like they're fighting just to be on a level playing field. So talking about a level playing field, let alone the standard of the luxury woman, she's normally a slender woman.
Karla?
What luxury spaces, can you give me an example? What luxury spaces are we talking about?
We can talk about anywhere from luxury department stores, these yoga places, hot Pilates, all these things that are considered luxury now.
I think it is more performative, and we all need to do a better job of being inclusive of everyone in general.
Yeah.
You know, especially when we think about the politics that we're seeing now. And then I hate that I even called it politics, but
That's what it is.
we need to be inclusive. What gives us a right to exclude certain groups of people based on size or even race?
I would agree. Okay. Healthcare. So have you ever had any healthcare concerns and they were dismissed because of your weight or just because you were a Black woman?
I didn't have
So
any
that's a
concern.
two-part.
Yeah. Could you give an example of healthcare concerns?
So say you go to the hospital, you're complaining about chest pain, back pain, whatever, and it's just dismissed of, oh, your back is hurting because of your size when you really got a disc slipped in your back or something like that. Like you've had a true health issue and you were just dismissed because of your size. You were told it was one thing, but it was truly something else.
I'll tell you the reason that I haven't is because I'm a researcher by nature.
Okay.
So I'll just be quite honest. The decision to take in certain foods, like I know certain people are different. This is just my experience as far as my overweight. My overweight was not because of a ailment. It was because of decisions I made. So my decision to change was always I need to eat better and things like that. I never really had to, fortunately, go to a doctor for anything. I was just trying to get certain things under control based on, okay, I feel better when I eat right. I don't feel as good when I don't eat right. So let me try to do better. So,
Karla, what about you? Do you think health concerns are dismissed for plus size women?
I know that people assume that I have health issues. They always ask about my blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, and none of those things have ever been an issue for me. I've experienced it in the doctor's office as well. Or they're very surprised that my heart rate is good, that my blood pressure is good. Miss Lewis, your blood pressure is always good. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I'm active and blessed, So, yeah, just the general assumption that I have health issues when I don't. I just don't. I've always had good blood pressure, always had good cholesterol, always and I don't have diabetes. But then also my health information is not everybody's business either. So, just people feeling comfortable asking you that, whereas they may not ask someone who is skinnier or smaller. It's very interesting.
Okay. You said something, I want to go back to it. You said that it was a decision for you when you were trying to lose weight, to eat better. Do you feel pressure to stay a certain size or to lose weight, either of you? Or are you just truly comfortable where you are now and this is me?
this will sound vain of me, but it gives you a competitive advantage when you're in media. So if I can work out, eat healthy, and my competition is not doing the same, and I'm just being honest, then it gives me a competitive advantage. Viewership goes up when you look a certain way. I've looked at my algorithm, talking about the same subjects, showing up the same way. Viewership became different just because people are vain.
Wow.
So I may just want to look. You may not, somebody over here may have a okay, which is so sad. You may know I'm working my butt off. And this girl is just showing up pretty. But because she's showing up pretty and doing a subpar job, her viewership is, you know. But I'm putting in the work. Maybe you have equal. You're doing the same thing, but people just stop. Oh, she's so
Because she's pretty.
and that's all they have to
drawing them
say
in.
about their shop. She's so pretty.
Can't tell you what she talked about, what the topics are, what episode 1, 2, 3
She
were
was
about.
pretty.
It's just she's pretty. And I'm not mad at it. I mean,
I'm not
get your money, get in how you can. But I do understand the frustration when you are
very
trying to truly build something and well, we'll give it to her because she looks a certain
and
way.
and
That's
when it's
not
with you as well, when
and it's nothing new though, because
it's
that's
not.
been going on forever. Carla, how do you feel about it? So do you feel any pressure or need to lose weight, gain weight, or is it just this is just who I am at this point?
This is just who I am. It's all about where I feel comfortable.
Mhm.
I'm never gonna feel pressure to do that now. I wanna be healthy.
Mhm.
You know, I consider myself to be healthy. I'm active. You know, I'm very busy within the community. I sing, I teach. What don't I do? I model, you know, and I'm very confident. You know, people use the are you a 10? I'm a 10 plus plus plus
All
plus
right
plus.
then. Okay.
I don't play that.
Okay.
And I'm a pretty plus size woman. Period.
You're a pretty woman, period. Take the plus size off. You're a
Yeah.
pretty beautiful woman, period. And I think that's something that I picked up on early, having friends that were plus size. Oh, she's pretty for a plus size girl. And it's like, no, she pretty.
She's
Like,
pretty.
she's just pretty. So I've picked up on some things here and there because I've been the skinny girl in high school. When I graduated, I was 108 pounds when I graduated high school.
Mhm.
I just got up to being 180 pounds now. 165 is like my normal weight. So it's like I've never been a plus size woman, but I've seen how plus size women have been treated. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, that ain't, she's pretty because she's pretty, plus size or not. But
Mhm.
that's my soapbox, okay? Because I don't be liking that mess.
Yeah.
Don't do that. So, what body related beliefs are y'all still unlearning, or are you unlearning any body related beliefs?
I'm not. I'm excited to be an advocate because I'm thankful that I know both sides
Mm.
and I can empathize with somebody who's going on a journey or not going on a journey because I understand their frustrations versus me being at a certain size and just thinking, "Oh, the world is kind." The world is not kind and sometimes people need allies
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
say, "I've been where you are. I've
Mhm.
been the girl that was stood up for prom because my date didn't feel like
Mm.
I fit fit the aesthetic, or I've been treated rudely because, you know, oh, you're not the smaller girl in the class. You're big
Mhm.
and you now I'm taking on a masculine role because you feel like I don't fit the body type of the girl, like the cheerleader or the majorette." So I feel like um I can help the younger generation um, learn to love themselves because I've been on both sides of the spectrum, if that answers your
It does.
okay.
Carl.
I want fuller figured women to feel comfortable about their bodies and to own their beauty. And I feel like when we continue to do that more and more, people have to come up to our standard
Mhm.
and respect us more and see us is as the beautiful
Mhm.
women that we are. And when I know that when we are confident, we walk into a room with a certain presence, people do tend to see us as more beautiful. So that's one of the things that I would say is that I just want fuller figured women, curvy women, plus size women to feel more confident and to feel more beautiful as they are.
Okay. Well, kinda wanna go back. You mentioned being a mentor,
Mhm.
especially to young girls. So, look in the camera, one at a time. Start with you, Shamika. And there's a plus size girl in high school. Like I said, she's been stood up for prom, or she's trying to date, and she has these guys, not treating her the best. Speak to her. Speak to her. Give her some encouragement. Give her some life lessons, some words of encouragement.
You are beautiful as you are. Where you are now is not your final destination. You have so much growth to do. Don't allow pressure, don't allow society, and don't allow social media to define who you are. You are becoming. There's never a final destination. You always have the power to grow. You always have the power to love yourself. If you want to change your body, go for it. If you don't, go for it, stay with it, but don't think you are unworthy of being loved. Don't think that you are unworthy of being supported, and don't think that people are not in your corner because they are.
All right, Miss Karla.
You are beautiful. Our beauty comes from within and comes to the outside, and people get a chance to see that. You deserve to be in the room. It's your right to take up space. Don't be afraid to take up space, and always let your true light and joy shine.
All right. That's some amazing words. So, young ladies and young men, because I think we forget too about our men
Mm-hmm.
who are plus size or are heavy gentlemen. They get treated a certain way too. So take those words, rewind this, listen to it over and over again, because those are true. Those are some good stuff. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna cuss today, but that's some good shit. Okay. All right. Now, if we dismantled body politics tomorrow, what would women gain? If we just said we're gonna do away with all this judging women's body based off size and curves, what do you think we would try? What do you think we would gain?
Women will have equal opportunity
Mm.
and have the chance to be judged on their work ethic, their intelligence, personality. So it would just open the doors for all of that. And I think that we would see um, just a total different scene as far as beauty, politics, modeling, based on that door being open.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want a real
I
answer,
want a real answer. Give
or do
me
you
your
want
real,
a
honey.
rainbows and butterflies
Give
answer?
me the real.
I feel that if we got away with body politics, human nature would find another way of ranking.
Mm.
So now, you know, I'm prettier than you, or now I'm smarter than you, or now you're black and I'm white, or I'm white and you're black. Whatever the case
It's
may
gonna be
be, people
something.
always need hierarchy to feel better about
Mm.
themselves. So even whether you're fat, you're skinny, black, white, whatever, people are always looking to feel superior.
Mm.
And so it's not just a size thing, because now you've lost the weight. Now what? Now aesthetically, I'm more in shape than you. Or now I have a
Or I
master's degree,
dress better than
or I
you,
dress better
or
than
look
you.
where I live. Or,
I can afford this, and
mm-hmm.
you can't. Look at my car. So we're always,
Mm.
when we take away size, there are good and bad people of all sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So if we took away hierarchy, people would live in harmony, but it's always going to be a
Gonna
system
be
of ranking.
something.
Mhm.
I think I would agree with that. Yeah. So, anything else you want to add about this topic before we wrap up? Anything we missed? Or Shamika, if you want to tell more about your journey of gaining weight, losing weight, and how that has affected your overall experience. I know we talked about it in the workplace and in dating.
I'm a millennial, but I'll use the Gen Z term. It was lit. I like the fact that I'm well-rounded because I've experienced, and I feel like it makes me more empathetic to somebody who's maybe bigger or smaller. Or
Mhm.
I'm more well-rounded. My shape shaped me. So bigger, small, all the experiences I've had, the mentorship. I mentor from a place of love because I've been there. How can I speak to somebody who's a bigger woman about going through it if I've never been there? How can I speak to somebody who's small because I understand? Oh, this played a role in this. Like so,
Mhm.
so it makes me more aware. I'm so grateful for the fact that I went through what I went through because it shaped me to be who I am today.
All right, Karla, what about you?
One of the things that I've noticed as a therapist is that now people are using the GLP-1 injections to lose weight. And of course, we have the other surgeries that people were having before, gastric bypass and lap band. But I'm noticing that once people lose weight, some of them are becoming more judgmental of people who are still plus size. And so that is an issue that is happening within the plus size community.
Yeah.
And so I just want people to be aware of that and to also consider going to therapy if you're pursuing any type of weight loss or any type of body image issues. And we didn't get a chance to talk about body dysmorphia
So
as
we can
well.
definitely touch on
Yeah.
that because I was gonna ask, with the losing weight and gaining weight,
Mhm.
do you not see yourself? Do you have that body dysmorphia, or how many people is affected by that?
Yeah, a lot of people, once they lose weight, they still see themselves in that same image. It takes some time, I think, for people to see themselves differently.
Mhm.
And therapy can help a lot with that. Yeah.
And so what I'm hearing, there's still a ranking system within the plus size community. I lost my weight naturally. You had the shot, you had the sleeve,
Mhm.
or you did this. So there's
Yeah.
still, like what you said, Shamica, if the body politics are
So
gone, we're gonna find something else to rank
yeah.
ourselves against.
Yeah, to be judgmental about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So body dysmorphia, let's touch on that. Have you experienced that with you gaining and losing weight, or have you had been in contact or mentored someone that has dealt with it?
I have, and also what I must say is plus size shapes. So the body dysmorphia of being overweight and you may gain weight, you may be top heavy. This person may be a full figure woman who has hips, who has her breast, and then her waist may be smaller. She just plus size. So even with trying to fit the ideal within a community.
Mhm.
So as I lost weight, one time I was doing it the wrong way.
Mhm.
And so I didn't look right, like my legs were smaller and I was still top heavy. So it was still a thing, but losing it the right way, my body shape being a certain way. So yeah, when I initially started losing weight, I still saw myself as bigger, but even when I lost weight, it was like now my skin is flaccid because I did it the wrong way.
No.
Or, gaining and losing it's like, am I at the size I want to be at now? Like still seeing myself as that, like I don't now, but I would go through transitions of I've lost all this weight,
Mhm.
but I'm still feeling like I'm bigger, but people are seeing me as smaller.
People can see the difference.
People
You
can see
don't
the can
see
see
it
the difference, but I can see the difference in treatment, but I still felt
the
like
same.
I was bigger than what I was. And learning how to get through that and not associate everything with a number and with a weight, because then you get obsessed. Body dysmorphia, I think, causes weight loss obsession.
Mm. You touched on something. I want to go back, and I said we was gonna do a quick little, but you mentioned, basically curvy. So the women who are more curvy and plus size, the big breasts, the small waist, the big butt. Do you feel that they're more accepted than just the plus size woman who isn't shaped that way? When I say like a true plus size woman, she's top heavy, she's heavy at the bottom. Like, do you think there's a difference in how they're treated?
From conversations I've had with men, I've had men say, "Well, I don't really date big women, but
Hmm.
if I were to date a bigger woman, this is the type of plus size woman I would date."
They want that curve.
And typically, it is even with people that say they prefer plus size women.
Hmm.
Yeah, the ones that have told me, I can't speak for all men, but it's always a curvy representation versus she's top heavy and then,
Hmm.
maybe she stores weight up top and then at the bottom she doesn't.
If they have more of an hourglass shape, I
Yeah,
think that is more
They'll take it.
accepted. Yeah.
that's what I've seen. Me
Yeah.
too.
So, as we wrap up, tell the people where they can find you on social media, where they can follow you, your website, and I'll make sure everything is dropped in the description box too for YouTube.
Okay. So on all social media platforms, I am Shamica Meeks Baxter. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. I'm presently working on a website, but presently, if you look up Shamica Meeks Baxter, you can find me on all social media platforms.
Right, and your podcast.
Yes, so we do have a podcast. My podcast is an Oprah-style podcast because I'm growth-centered, so it is called In the Gym. So we want people to grow. We don't want people to stay where they are. So we created In the Gym, and it basically touches on people's personal stories just to be relatable and to help people grow through shared experiences.
Great. Miss Karla?
I am Coach Karla Lewis on most social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram. I have a couple of websites, Couch Convo with Coach Karla, as well as Coach Karla Speaks. My TV show has been on Roku TV as well as SVP TV and Xfinity TV. You can still see past episodes because it's been around for 4 years, but it looks at mental health as well as current trends. You can also email me at coachkarlalewis@gmail.com if you're interested in therapy services.
All right, ladies. Well, again, thank y'all so much for joining today. And I will have everything linked in the description box so you can catch up with these ladies, the podcast, the TV shows, all the amazing things. And I want to thank you again for joining me for episode of Ladies Let's Talk Business. Ladies, remember you are beautiful. Size 2, size 10, size 22. You are amazing. You are beautiful. Life is truly what you make it. If you want to make changes, change for yourself, not anyone else. I've made changes strictly for myself. These ladies have made changes strictly for themselves. You should do the same too, but it should be strictly for you. Change is great. Change is needed. I'm telling you, you don't have to stay stagnant. I'm not just talking about your body size. Anything in life, if you want to change, you can change it. So, stay tuned, or thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next episode of Ladies Let's Talk Business. I'll see you soon.